Hey Siri, call Jenna.
Hey friends, ambitious souls, welcome to Sorta Ambitious, the podcast where two moms navigate the chaotic yet beautiful journey of motherhood and entrepreneurship.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Jenna.
And together we're your dynamic duo diving into the real, unfiltered tales of balancing diapers and deadlines.
Whether you're juggling nap time, creating content, swapping parenting hacks, business tips, Sorta Ambitious is your go-to space for all things mom life and entrepreneurship.
We're not claiming to have it all figured out, but we're here to share our stories, passions, and the occasional chaos that comes with running a business and a household.
Expect candid conversations about the struggles, triumphs, and the messy middle ground where ambition meets mom life.
And hey, if you're a mompreneur or someone trying to navigate this crazy world, you're in good company with us. We've got your back.
So buckle up, grab your coffee or wine, no judgment here, and join us every week as we embark on this sorta ambitious journey together. Because let's face it, life gets a bit messy, it's a lot ambitious, and completely worth it. We're back.
Hi friends.
Hi,
Today we are going to be doing a quick catch up for an episode. Also some fun, what are your thoughts on hot topics? But we're going to jump into our highs of the week. And Jenna, I would love to start with yours. Either one. Whatever one you want to tackle.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say my business high is it's been work. Like I'm enjoying all of it as tired as I am. I'm loving kind of just being back in a routine that feels good. Not just with like working out, but also a lot across like all boards. Like I'm going through my steps with like the course that I'm going through. I'm still trying to be active on our social media, and I'm learning new things like at work that are being implemented. So yeah, just I feel like it's a lot of information. But it feels good. It just feels good to be kind of like back in the swing of that.
Yeah.
Like I said, very tired, but moving along nicely through it.
Yeah, it's always hard to get into a new routine. It takes your body a minute to catch up with like your mind, I feel like.
Yes.
But I love that. Mine business high is I found a new filming location. I found just basically like a plain wall with like plain room with white walls. In a few episodes I was talking about how I just want to redo all my videos because I'm feeling a little bit, I don't know if self-conscious is the right word, but that's the best word to what I'm saying about like not only the quality, but like the rush job that I kind of did the first time around. So I feel like finding a new filming space, I can put myself in a different headspace and a different mentality and hopefully just elevate them.
Yeah, I feel
a little
that.
bit.
I can understand that.
What's your mom high?
My mom high is that Cohen is like really loving child watch. Like when I work out, it's obviously only like 45 minutes, but when I work, it's like close to 3 hours. So, I was really like worried about that for some reason. But he does really enjoy it, and I feel like our time frame is pretty good. We're there like 8 to 11, and then he gets to come home and like take a nap. So tucker him out a little bit. And then this is kind of funny, it just happened today, but I went grocery shop. I went to Trader Joe's, and there was like 3 other little kids in there that had the shopping carts that are there.
Let's do it. Oh, that's adorable. I love that. My mom high this week. Mine this week was the solar eclipse. So where we live in the United States was on the path of totality for this solar eclipse. And we got to spend the day just kind of experiencing that. It's not necessarily my first eclipse, but I think it's my first one in totality. And so I was really excited to be able to like do all the things, like learn all of the things about it. The reason it's my mom high is because it was so interesting and fascinating to be able to learn about that stuff and teach it to my son. And he was so fascinated, so interested in it, especially, of course, when the actual totality happened, because he had his little glasses on. We had a little picnic out in our yard to be able to like experience it. And we did FaceTime both of his like grandmas, and so he was so adorable on the phone, explaining to them. He was so excited, but he was like, the moon is front of the sun, like so excited. And he understood it, but definitely didn't understand that like when the light went away and then it just came back, why that just can't happen again. He was like, I want the moon to go back in front of the sun. And I'm like, well, it will get dark again tonight. Like, I just was like, it will happen again, whatever. And he moved on pretty fast. But he was so adorable, like learning about it at all, telling all our neighbors about it. And they were all so sweet and just being like, yeah, how cool is that? I thought the same thing. My heart was like racing, especially when it was dark. My heart was like racing. I was feeling all these things. I kept saying to my husband, like, I think we need to go buy a lottery ticket. I just feel like there's just like energy out there. But what was so weird about the whole thing was when it passed and it got light out again, my husband just like got up and started working on his car, like just a regular Sunday. And then our roads, like the roads around us, were just like filled with people, obviously making their way back from wherever they came from. And I just sat there and was like staring at the cars, and I was like, that was 4 minutes worth of an event. I feel crazy. I feel like something drastic just happened. And everyone else is just like going back to their life. They're just like sitting in their car, probably listening to the radio, like, all right, cool, on to the next. And I was sitting here like, you guys are strong right now. Oh, I was getting so confused.
Hello, 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 hello.
Oh, yep, you're recording.
Perfect.
Oh, there you are.
So basically the eclipse was incredible. Such good vibes, such good feelings. That's how I felt too. I actually kind of like forgot that it was happening. Kyle told me, and then he told me where it was, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like Shannon and Kendrick will get to see it. And then I forgot again, and then I was like, Shannon, what are you doing? And you're like, I can't, it's the eclipse. And I was like, okay, it's cool. No worries. I hope you guys are having them.
I did have a lot of plans to be doing a lot of things that day, because with our town being like in the center of the trajectory, there was so much posting, or so many postings for so many different events, that I was like, oh, I want to go to all of them. One, our town is pretty small, so they like can't handle actual events. They put on like 7 different little events in like all the different parks, basically. Okay. And the one that I was the most excited for to go to, we planned on going, and then we found out they were charging $100 per person for entry, and then $50 for parking.
Excuse me.
I'm not positive. I know. I'm not positive, but I'm like nearly positive that then you'd have to like pay for everything in there. Like you'd have to pay for the food, and you'd have to pay for the rides. Like they were doing hot air balloon rides, and like I'm sure you'd have to pay for all that stuff on top of it.
So cool. A hot air balloon ride?
I know. Wow. I know.
For the eclipse.
And I was so ready to pay for a hot air balloon. Like I was okay with that. But it would have been like $300 for us to go into it.
Yeah, that's wild.
And I was like,
people, inflation doesn't need to happen during the eclipse. Let's just enjoy the moment. God, 5 minutes. It's 5
Plus, the town we live in was so contradictory, because a couple days before the eclipse happened, we were getting calls and texts and emails and everything from the city being like, stock up on food and water, and like stay put, don't get out, like don't get stuck in the craziness, like stay home. And then, but like, I'm sure their events, they wanted like locals to come, or they should at least have like a local, I don't know if this is like privileged to say, but like a local rate for attendance. Not $100, like charge me $20. I'm down the street, like just let me come. Yeah. But yeah, those plans kind of got squandered, but still fantastic experience. Yeah. And also, people listening are probably like screaming this song. Oh, total eclipse of course. Totally. Obviously. My TikTok is the eclipse. Look great. Change my angle. Okay, but speaking of TikTok, my feed is Eclipse and Love is Blind. And I know our topic is what are your thoughts on? And I just quickly want to hear what are your thoughts? Hey, but we kept our highs shorter, and I thought for I'm suspicious that it's actually not your Wi-Fi, and it's I mean the fact that it gives you like 3 different warnings confuses me. If it was one warning over and over and over again, okay, it says recording again.
I'm back. Okay, thoughts on Love is Blind. You finished it.
I finished season.
So the people you did predict though the people that you thought were gonna get married would.
Oh yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm. You said that, and I was like, oh.
I thought Amy and Johnny were the only people that were gonna get married. I did feel pretty confident about that because I was like, no one else is marriage material right now.
I had faith. I didn't have faith in anybody. I was like, this is gonna be the worst season. I was like, this is gonna be the worst. I was just like, I was the only couple that I liked was AD and her man. And I just liked that AD was like just so confident in her, like in herself, and was willing to like just be like, no, this, you have things to work on. Like, I'm over here, and then you're like using me as the, like, you're basically saying like, I'm the person that's helping you, but I also think you need to understand you have to help yourself in this like situation. Does that make sense?
1,000. I felt like he was just really putting. He was just a lot on her,
and that's what I mean. Like, I felt bad for her at the end because I do feel like she really put her whole heart and was excited about this, and then he just like completely crushed her. So I just was like, damn, that sucks. And then I never thought it, so I was like, this is not working. Like, it's just not. And
I will say about them, one, I thought from the very moment she said, because she was the one in the pods that brought up, has anyone told you look like a celebrity? So she was the one that brought up the looks thing, like, and I think she was the only one this season that like, oh no wait, I guess Clay kind of was like, I just want to make sure you're hot before I like you, or whatever.
Clay,
which was crazy. But she was the only one that like brought up looks, and I know that she asked that specific question so that she could get it back. You know what I mean? So she could
give her feedback.
So she could say what people have said she looks like. And he was like, no, I don't think I get anything. And she was like, oh. And then he's like, what about you? And she's like, oh, well, I get told I look like, MGK's girlfriend. I can't remember her name. And I'm like, come on. You can't remember her name? First of all, if people are telling you look like Megan Fox, you're going to remember that because you're bringing it up. And two, she's not MGK's girlfriend. She's fucking Megan Fox. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
So from the moment she said that, I was like, oh my gosh. One, she's delirious. She's like in her own land.
I feel like in my head especially, say I was in a scenario where I was on reality TV, that comment, you 100% know you're now a meme. You're now something that has like you just claimed that you look like Megan Fox. You're 100. That's gonna be everywhere. I was like, no, don't say stuff like that. Like, just why would you do that to yourself?
She could feel him slipping away. I feel like she could feel him interested in someone else.
That's also probably true.
And I think she also knew how good looking the other girl was because let's face it, she's pretty, but let's face it, the other girl's like a fucking smoke show. And so she knows that. And so I feel like she basically like not baited him, but like she made a comment, that was gonna like snag him. And it worked. Like as soon as she said that, he was like fully put her as his like for number one priority or whatever they call it.
I like
Anyways.
and then I literally laughed out loud when what's her face was like, "You are gonna choke." Also knew that would be a meme. Knew it, and it's in my saved. I can't wait to use it for our
you're gonna need an EpiPen when you see me. That was crazy.
I was just like, that is so. I was laughing so hard. I just, like I said, I didn't feel connected to any of the. Not that I have to feel. It's not my relationship, but like, I just didn't feel good about any of them. And I was like, I almost feel like at this point, there are just a lot of people that are doing it, to be on TV.
Totally.
And it just sucks. Like, I feel like you get that with The Bachelor, of course. But like, that makes sense because you're literally, there's 30 of you trying to fall in love with one person. Also is crazy to me. But like, I feel like that's just the one. You have 1,000,001 opportunities that come with once you've done it. And that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyways, my thoughts on Love is Blind this like, season, I didn't like it that
much. I liked it the best. I thought it was the best. I thought it was produced a little bit more than normal, like, but this one had the most like drama. I will say with Megan Fox and Jimmy, I definitely didn't like Jimmy in the pods, and I started to like him towards the end. Like, I liked him more than her at the end of it because I felt like he could tell from the very beginning that they were like, one, he either didn't like her or he just could tell that they were not it and they weren't going to work. And I feel like he tried to be respectful and like he tried to leave a few times, but then also like continue to put effort in. And by the end, like when they actually broke up, I was like, I bet you this is like not right before the wedding. I bet you they've broken up like way before the wedding, but they kind of like either had to push it out longer because the people were like, we can't have two people going to the.
Like such a hard part of that whole thing, like inviting your entire family to be like, actually, just kidding, it's just for a show, don't worry about it.
I know, and that's why I kind of like I ended up liking Jimmy because I was like, at least he didn't bring his whole family, her whole family, and like do it there like Clay did. Like, I feel as if Clay was. I bet you they had a conversation that was like, we don't have to get married, but like let's continue to date. And then I feel like 80's just like, let's either do it or not, because if you're not ready to, you know what I mean? I think she's like also kind of wanted it out because he's kind of like, what he was saying was kind of insane. Like, I just feel like I'm going to cheat on you.
Right?
That's crazy. And she's just like, I trust you. I'm like, dude, girl, get out. Like, if he's already prepping and planning to cheat on you.
Like, I just feel like, what if she was over there saying that to him? What if she was like, you know what? I just feel like I'm not going to be able to stay faithful to you. You were just going to be like, okay, cool. That's insane.
Insane. And you know her DMs are full now. So like, girl, get out. Just do something new.
Yeah, do something new. Okay.
The only reason I felt like Amy and Johnny, is that who they are? The only reason I felt like they were going to be the ones that were going to get married is because I really felt like their drama, their pregnancy drama, was like not actually an issue. I felt like the producers was like, we need something from you. What do you disagree on? And then they just like milked it for as long as they could because their arguments were so
Shannon,
wild.
They are still milking it. I think that's the reason why it feels like maybe I didn't like it, is that they take just one thing and make it the most dramatic and I get that that's TV, but I was like, now I'm seeing their TikToks and what they're posting together as like a couple, and I'm like, fuck this topic, you guys. You guys, honestly, I don't want to listen to it. I don't care anymore. Like, you don't know anything about birth control and you have like 5 sisters. What is wrong with you? Like, you don't know.
I know.
Just you.
I know. I think they just needed to come up with something, and that was like their storyline, which is so unfortunate for them.
Feel bad for them. Yeah, like,
I know.
Damn.
Can't they just be happy?
Can't they just be happy? That couldn't have been their storyline.
Also, the like cheating drama, the Sarah Ann drama, like that was pure reality TV gold, and I think that's why I liked it so much, because that guy honestly thought he was smarter than
so slick
everyone. Not only smarter than Laura, but smarter than like everyone, and that he was just gonna like talk his way out of it.
I know.
And I thought she was a badass for being like, no, you're wrong, you're an idiot, I'm never talking to you again, bye. Anyways, that's my take on Love is Blind.
I love it. I'm glad that you finished it, because now we can move on to our next reality TV show that we're excited to talk about. Like, my time's still going, but it is telling me to refresh it, so I don't know if it's gonna kick me out soon, but that's where I'm at. Okay, I was gonna ask you your thoughts on the Montana Boys. Do you know who the Montana Boys are?
Oh, so minimally, because I just know that one of them's dating Kristen Cavallari. But I've
Okay, so that
never
was
looked at
basically
their
my
TikTok.
second question was thoughts on the Montana boys dating Kristen Cavallari, because one, I know that you know who Kristen Cavallari is, and I've been listening to her podcast. I listened to her like Laguna Beach. Did you listen to it, right? We
Yeah.
listened to her Laguna Beach
Flew through
podcast,
that.
and then she's moved into her Let's Be Honest podcast, and I love it. I literally love listening to all of her topics. Like, they're all so fun. And I remember her like saying like, God, have you guys seen these Montana boys? They're so hot. Like, God, they're just so hot. What the heck? And so I knew exactly who they were because my friend and I send each other the videos all the time because they are very attractive, but they're just doing the dumbest things, and their account is insane. Like, they're literally just walking towards the camera, spinning around, saying like 2 lyrics to a song, and I know it's just because they're, like I said, just insanely attractive, that like they're getting all this hype. But like I want to say, like, when did I go see Justin Bieber? March of 21, 22, March of 22. Yeah, March of 22. So like that's the time of like me and my friend finding their account, I guess. Like, it started popping up, and now it's like for the last 2 years, like they just have really blown up, and they just recently moved to Nashville, which is also where Kristen lives. But one, he is like no shame. I think, girl, she's hot. She can have whoever she wants. Kristen, if we ever get to chat, that's my actual thought. Okay, love you, love this for you. But my reality is like, this guy is like 24 years old.
Because how old is she?
Like 37 at least, 36. Because I'm like, wait, if I'm 31, like, they're not that it's a huge age gap. I know it really doesn't matter. But I'm like, Kristen, you have a full-blown like business. You have 3 children. Like, this man better be able to handle the powerful woman that you are, because in my head, a 24-year-old can't, because he is part of one of the highest growing profiles like on TikTok right now. And I just want you to have a good guy.
Okay, I'm scrolling.
That's my spiel. How do you feel about Montana boys, if one of them dating Kristen?
My first comment is, I find it so funny that you find them attractive, because I do not. Like, they're good looking people, but like not my type. But it's funny because it's definitely like makes sense for you. That's supposed to be that's not supposed to sound rude, so hopefully that doesn't.
No,
2,
it doesn't.
They play for Montana Tech, which is so funny because that was like, I think like 45 minutes from where we went to college.
I feel like I thought you would have an opinion, one, because you went to Montana.
Football team. Not a good football team. So that's so funny.
I love it.
And also, granted, she did find like the most attractive one out of them, because I just saw the TikTok.
That's what I was gonna say. You guys are just kind of always in the background of the stuff. But I think there's 3 main ones, and then they've added like they've had other videos where there's maybe 4. I was gonna say there's one. Their like most popular one has like 7 guys in it. So okay, yeah, they were like starting to add the people. I think there's only 3, like 3
Montana boys.
Yes, I think there's 3 main people, and
I feel like I agree with you though on the Kristen aspect. Like, girl, do whatever you want. Like, be whatever you want. But I definitely feel like I'm not so much the age, like they shouldn't be together, but more so like just the status of life. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Obviously she's hot, and obviously they're like, she's doing well in life, she's wealthy. Like, I just feel like for them it's all pluses, and for her it's like, what do you guys got going on?
I feel like they moved to Nashville, and they're just being the Montana boys in Nashville. But
which is crazy. Because that means nothing to them. That means their whole persona and profile means nothing to them. If they're like, yeah, let's just leave Montana and let's head to Nashville because that's where shit's happening. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. They're gonna just rebrand over there.
I know they're gonna. Let's just be the Nashville boys that is not from Nashville. I mean, good for them. You got to go where the money gets you, right? But
Okay, I feel like that was like that was a big thing because it's been on my mind because she did a podcast with them, then she did a podcast with her best friend about him, the guy, can't remember, Mark, maybe? Mark? Maybe that's one of the other guys' names. I can't remember. But like the podcast with her best friend, Justin, was very like, she seemed, yeah, she just seems excited about it. And so again, want to be excited for her.
The other thing to think about though, if she is older than him and she is like significantly more powerful in all aspects, he could really treat her so fantastic because he's like, there's nothing I can get better than this. So he really could treat her so amazing, and it could be everything she'd ever wanted but also I feel like that's a little bit of a power dynamic. Like,
yeah, it does feel, I don't know. Like I said, I can go both ways. I understand. Hi, bud. Hey, Cohen's awake.
Cohen's awake.
Let's do it. Let's have one. Okay, minutes, because I had to check out a couple times. I'm talking to Shannon on my podcast.
Let us know in the comments of this episode, what are some hot topics that you would like to get some opinions episode?
Yes, let's do it. I love you. We recorded. Drop the mic.
Bye, have a great day, friends.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Sorta Ambitious. Thanks for joining us on this roller coaster of momhood and entrepreneurship.
Remember, life gets hectic, and we can't promise to drop an episode every week, but we will certainly try our best. Your understanding means the world to us.
If you want more behind-the-scenes action, connect with us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, where we're sharing laughs, struggles, and the occasional dance party, because why not?
And if you enjoyed our chat today, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We've got some incredible guests and topics lined up for this year, and we won't want you to miss out.
Your support keeps us going, so make sure to spread the love. Share this podcast with your fellow mompreneurs, friends, or anyone who could use a good dose of ambition and reality.
Until next time, stay sorta ambitious, and remember, you're doing an amazing job.